Previously on my Ark Survival Evolved official server series, I built a raft base and I was about to log off for the day, but my raft sinks to the bottom of the ocean from this giant fish, so I die and respawn on the south of the island, and then on my way to Herbivore Island I spot a guy flying an RG. And once I get close to Herbivore Island, I rebuild another raft base, and that was about where I ended my last episode. After rebuilding my raft base and getting some basic resources together, I would leave the mainland and set sail for Herbivore Island, where it would be safe to farm metal for future raids and PvP fights. Here you can see I have reached the island, and I'm sailing to the far end of the island so that people won't know that I'm here. So now all I have to do is run up, farm some metal, and then run back down to my raft base, and I can farm as much as I want because this island is uncontested and there's metal nodes all around the island. Now on my way up to my second metal run, there's this raft here with like 50 storage boxes, and I checked them to see if there's anything good, and this absolute freak just made like 50 torches and just put them in the boxes. Now there actually is lots of stone here, which means I won't have to farm it, and stone is great for making spark powder, which makes gunpowder, and less farming is better. Now I do check the rest of the storage boxes, but there's nothing of use, so after this I go around and check the island to see if anybody has built a base on it. Alright, while I don't find a full-blown base, I do find this little farming outpost, which means somebody must have been here doing the same thing as me. Now checking the rest of the island, I do find this little 1x1 stone base with spikes around it, and remember that name Conquistadores because it'll be important later in the series. Now just when I was about to go back to farming metal, I found that these weirdos, I guess, just make broken 1x1 bases around the island, and yeah, I found another one. So now I go back to farming metal for about 20 minutes, which is my least favorite thing I could possibly do. So now with my resources back to full, I can finally log off for the day, and this time I have learned my lesson to not sail out in the middle of the ocean and to go into orbit mode and check the ocean for those giant fish that eat your ships, I guess. Now for those of you who don't know, basically parking your raft on the border is driving your raft all the way out to the edge of the map and parking it there, because big like tribes and clans rarely check there, and it's the highest likelihood that your ship is going to survive if you park it out there. Logging on the next day, I'm thankfully unrated, so I'm going to sail north up the east coast looking for a base spot, and I'm going to stop to farm hide along the way too. And just to point out, I ultimately want to make my base spot on the base of that volcano because it will be really rich in resources like metal. Now this person just left a campfire behind with 49 charcoal in it, and I took it because it'll be less time waiting for campfires to produce charcoal, which is used to make gunpowder. Now as a soul, I don't have slaves like in mega tribes to farm for me, so taking whatever resources I can will really help me out. Now normally I wouldn't stoop down to killing turtles for hide, but this server is really populated and dinos are kind of rare. Two turtles worth of hide would give me plenty of hide for a while. Not too bad of a haul. So after organizing my loot a bit here, I decided I would continue heading north on the east coast, looking for a spot to build my base, which will probably end up being at the base of the volcano. Now if you're wondering where I am, I'm the blue dot on the map, coming up on the swamp on the east side, going north. Now here I stop at the swamp and I craft a crossbow and some trank arrows because I'm going to tame my first tame on the server. Now this is where I'm going to end the video for today, and if you want to see what I tame and future PvP fights, then watch the next episode in the series. And I know I promised PvP fights and raiding this episode, but I promise you next episode there will be lots of raids and PvP fighting.